We start today in Puerto Rico, where nonprofit organizations are starting to speak up about the ongoing power outage issue and the impact the constant blackouts are having on their nonprofits. Our Francis Felix reports.
Luma keeps impacting essential services for vulnerable communities in the island. In this case, a non-profit organization for homeless people, La Fondita de Jesus, has taken measures to keep offering their service due to the increase in their electric bill.
La Fondita de Jesus has been providing services to homeless people for 36 years. Since 2017, they have been working with 31 communities. In addition to the problems caused by the continuous outages, they are paying 50% more in their electric bill than a year ago, even with a 10% reduction in consumption.
We are a social transformation organization, and doing that work has become very cumbersome because we have to choose between giving out human services and having to spend incredible amounts of money in the utilities. So now the organization has to cut some services, maybe personnel like social workers, so that we can afford the cost of the utilities. They have increased in a year 51%. So this means that we are now juggling and struggling, not only us at La Fondita de Jesus, but other organizations that maybe are smaller than us have to think about closing operations or maybe cutting days of service just to afford the increase in utilities.
One of the programs of the organization is breakfast and lunch daily for homeless people.
We have sometimes 60, 75, 100 people that come here just for breakfast and lunch. So we have a continuous flow of people in need coming to us for services. So we have to keep the operation open.
But what are some of the measures taken by the entity to be able to keep offering services? The executive director explained they have to choose what service is a priority to reduce the cost in energy consumption.
Instalación de sistemas enérgicos, ¿verdad?
Since a year ago, we have invested in installation of solar systems, AC inverters, power generators, technological equipment, and movement sensors to reduce the consumption. For example, we have to limited services hours from 8 hours to 6. We can hire personnel, cut the food supplies we offer. The claim is clear: we need to count with a stable and safe energy service to provide the services we offer. For the services and program director, this increase and instability could lead to the closure of other nonprofit organizations.
We are paying about $15,000, $16,000 monthly just on electricity. We're not considering all the rest of the utilities, gas or water, no. Just electricity, it's been an increase of 51% in a year. For some organizations, that can be fatal. Some organizations, smaller organizations, would close immediately with an increase like that. We are doing all we can to keep afloat.
She also made a claim for action to the government.
It's just to take measure of what can be lost as a society if nonprofits do not keep serving communities as we do. And if this increase keeps going as it's been going, we're not going to be able to operate. And is the government going to be able to provide all these human services? I don't think so.
The instability of the energy service, the lack of action by Luma, added to the increment of its cost, threats the continuity of services provided by nonprofit organizations. There has been a call of protest by public figures during this week due to the recent controversies involving the company. Reporting from Santurce, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks so much, Francis. Well, meantime, a second protester was killed on Tuesday and multiple others injured during nationwide protests in Haiti. That's all according to protest organizers. Thousands of Haitians took to the streets in Haiti's cities, calling for the Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, to step down. It's the first major demonstration since the assassination of former President Jovenel Moise over a year ago. Angry protesters blocked roads, burned tires, and threw rocks at businesses, selling fuel on the black market. The protesters criticized the government for not doing enough to fight gang violence, rising inflation, and fuel shortages. There were many clashes between police and protesters, and footage of police using tear gas canisters to disperse the demonstrators in Port-au-Prince. One person was shot and killed, and multiple others injured during nationwide protests in Haiti, again on Monday. Well, meantime, food insecurity is affecting people in countries across the Caribbean, and so the leader of Barbados is calling on the region to rely more on local farms and gardens, and for more than one reason. Our One Caribbean News' Deandra Hamilton reports.
As the region continues to struggle with the issue of food security and work towards a goal of achieving a 25% reduction in its food import bill by 2025, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, is encouraging Caribbean people to eat what they grow and grow what they eat.
Caribbean people now will determine how we get through these crises. Our expectations have to change, and our ability to be able to do things differently must also come to the table.
Prime Minister Mottley was speaking at the opening ceremony of CARICOM's second Agri-Investment Forum and Expo. It was held on Friday in Trinidad and Tobago. Mottley noted that the practice of eating from one's own garden or farm is good for the economy and even better for one's health.
And we have to do it not only because of the economic requirements, but because of the health requirements.
She said government officials will also have to work with fast food restaurants to get them to change their menus as well.
We've got to work with the fast food organizations, Gervais, and get them to change their menu. It's not good enough for us to make speeches about colonialism in the supermarkets if we're not prepared to change people's access.
The Agri-Investment Forum and Expo was held August 19th through 21st under the theme Transforming Agriculture Through Innovation and Investment. It featured over 300 exhibitors from across the agriculture sector. The event was also attended by several other CARICOM leaders, including from Guyana, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Haiti, Suriname, and the Bahamas. The first Agri-Investment Forum and Expo was held May 19th through 21st in Georgetown, Guyana. Deandra Hamilton reporting.
All right, thanks so much, Deandra. Meantime, Jamaica's Ministry of Education is taking steps to address the shortage of teachers caused by a large number of resignations in recent weeks. Education Minister Fayval Williams told a press conference that almost 170 teachers have left their jobs in the public school system since July. The Jamaica Teachers Association recently warned of an exodus of educators this year, noting that over 400 have left the island to take up lucrative job opportunities in the United States. Last week, the education minister said there had been 80 resignations reported, but this week she said that number has more than doubled.
The current number that we're looking at, and this is for the period July to present, is 167. These resignations we know will impact staffing for the new school year, as they are so close to the start of the new school year. Of course, we are still getting information from our school principals, and so these numbers, this 167, could change as we move towards the end of August and into September. The school year officially begins on the 5th of September, and even up to that time, there may be resignations. And some of these, of the resignations that we've gotten, may be due to migration. We do not know precisely because our teachers are under no obligation to tell us why they're resigning. It's a personal decision, and we respect that.
Williams said among the measures to address the exodus will be the hiring of 121 newly graduated teachers from the ministry's special scholarship program in the upcoming school year, who will be bonded to the public education system for 5 years.